Real quick, this is the first video that I've ever filmed using natural lighting. Now that I'm seeing the sun, this might actually be the first time I'm ever filming a video that's not a reading vlog during the daytime. All that to be said, sorry if the lighting isn't fun and fresh, this is a learning experience. Hey, what's up? Hello, it's Katie, and guess what? We're here for something super exciting. You can already tell probably by the subscribers and by the title that we just hit 5K, and I'm so freaking excited about it. I'm so excited! Like, thank you all so much. Like, thank you to everybody who has been like subscribing, liking, who's been mentioning me on Instagram, who's been sharing my videos, who's been telling people about me. Like that, amazing. Like amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Like, and to all of the friendships I've been able to like curate through the booktube community, chef's kiss. Like A1, A+, y'all are the best. Like Gordon Ramsay, chef's kiss. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, to the video. We are doing a Q&A. What I did was I went on my Instagram, which will be linked if you want to follow me, and I asked on 2 separate days. I said, if you have any questions you want me to answer, leave them for me on Instagram. And what I did was I screenshotted them like in blocks of questions, send them to my computer so that I can answer them for you without knowing what the questions are beforehand, because I didn't want to like pre-answer them. I wanted to get my like genuine reaction and my like gut reaction of an answer and give those to you guys. That makes sense. So yeah, anyway, I have my computer here and I'm going to be pulling up the questions now and answering them for you. Desert island book, show, and movie. I'm going to take that to assume a book, a show, and a movie I would take to a desert island, because I don't know if that's what you mean, but I'm going to take it as that. If I can only take one book, movie, and TV show to a desert island, I would bring the show Angel, the spinoff from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because it has my favorite ship of all time, Lila and Wesley. This is so random tangent, but I'm obsessed with them, and I've watched the show like a bajillion times. So I would take that. And I would also, let's see, a book I would take. Probably The Invisible Life of, did you hear me almost say The Secret Life? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, because I feel like it's such a deep, immersive book, and like it's so beautifully written, but then it also has one of my favorite book ships of all time, which is Luke and Addie. So love that. And then if I was taking a movie, The Proposal. No, Mamma Mia. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Oh, I love The Proposal, but Mamma Mia, because it works in all directions. I don't even have to be watching it. I can just be listening to it, and it's amazing. So that one. Next is, why do you have 2 of the same alarm clock by your bed? I'm only gonna, oh my God, this is going to be asked so many times. I'm sure Grace was like, do you know how many times you're gonna get this question? I get this question on like almost every single video. I get people DMing me on Instagram asking me this all the time. I have 2 of the same, I don't know if you can even see it. I have 2 of the same. If you can't see it, I'll insert a picture or something. I have 2 of the same alarm clock. They're from Amazon. They're really cute. Here's the thing. Let me go ahead and explain this to you. I'm a type 6. Do you understand? I'm a threat forecaster. We're a worrier. I do not trust myself to wake up to one alarm clock. And also, they're physical alarms, so they only have one setting. So you can only set one alarm on each one. And this is my idea, okay? This is my idea, is that I set alarms on my phone. What if my phone updates overnight and then the alarms disappear? What if? That can happen. It's happened to me before. Or what if my phone falls under my bed and I don't hear it because I sleep like the freaking dead, okay? Like I don't wake up to shit. So what if that happens? But, okay, so I have a physical alarm clock and I have my phone. What if the batteries on the physical alarm clock die? So I need another one. Or something that's also happened to me is that one of my physical alarms falls under my bed and it's on the carpet. So when it's like ringing, you can't even really hear it. I sound truly psychotic right now. But you know what? That's the reason. That's the reality. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it for you. I'm a crazy bitch. That is the kind of crazy things I do. Like, I'm like, what if I don't wake up for work and then I get fired? That's the long and the short of it. That's the long of it. Let's see what the next question is. Why do you have 2 alarm clocks? I can't make this shit up. I can't. Next question. What do you do for a living? Best thing about booktube, and do you listen to audiobooks? WFH. WFH. I don't know what WFH stands for, so I'm not going to answer that part of the question. I don't know what that means. Okay, anyway. What do you do for a living? I am a server at a restaurant. That's it. Not glamorous. Best thing about booktube. The best thing about booktube is not, okay, literally, in my opinion, the best thing about booktube is going into a book already knowing that it's worth my time. Like, because people I trust on booktube, because I've been watching booktube for like 7 years, going into it knowing that people I trust like it or don't like it, that even if I hate the book, it's gonna have strong feelings. Like, there's not a many times that I pick up a book and I just completely regret it, where I did that a lot before I started watching booktube. So that's an amazing part of it. Like, to be honest, that's something I really care about. And then another amazing thing is the friends that I've made on booktube. And I'm not somebody who like has a lot of friends. Like, I don't talk to a lot of people, but I'll make connections with like certain people. And like Gabby and Olivia on YouTube are like shining stars, and I adore their friendship. So that's the best thing about booktube. Ooh, next is from Gabby from Ryella Reads. So there's two Gabbies that I'm friends with on the internet. One's Gabby Reads, and the other is from Ryella Reads. I make that very confusing sometimes, sorry. But Gabby said, do you have any siblings, and have you always lived in Georgia? So I do have an older brother. I have a brother that's 5 years older than me, Justin. He's the one that keeps sending me these freaking Stephen King books. Jesus Christ. And then also, I have not always lived in Georgia. I moved to Atlanta like 7 years ago? So, 7 years ago, I think. But I grew up in Destin, Florida. And then, like, I grew up there and then moved to Niceville, Florida, which is, like, across the bridge. And yes, it is called Niceville. But it used to be called Boggy Bayou, so we're working our way up, okay? Favorite book that no one ever talks about? The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. I absolutely adored it. I gave it 5 out of 5. I put it on my favorites of all time. I just went and bought the books and the next 2 in the series. I think it's amazing. I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but it's definitely a favorite that I've literally never seen in a bookstore. I had to order it online. Never seen in a bookstore, and never heard anybody talk about, except for like, I think it was Meg, from Meg with Books. Oh, I think it was. She read it like last month and put it on her favorites, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that book's about. And then checked it out and was like, what is a pet peeve of yours? Ooh, I have a lot of pet peeves. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people keep repeating something over and over and over again. It makes me want to crawl out of my skin. I can't stand it. Like, if somebody keeps, oh God, the only thing I'm thinking of is in The Stand, with when Stephen King has that character that just keeps on going, mother, mother. I can't even keep doing it because it literally made me so angry. I hate when I'm driving and there's somebody in front of me that slows down super, super slow, and then they're like really slowly making the turn. I'm like, go! Unless you have an ice sculpture in your back seat, I do not condone this decision. Like, keep driving. What exciting videos, reading vlogs, challenges, etc. are you planning to shoot? Okay, so speaking of, I actually have 2 secret videos in the works right now. Those are the only things that I have planned, other than I really want to, I'm not going to tell you what those are, but one of them should be coming very soon. What I really want to do is I want to have Grace, like my best friend, if you don't already know, come over, and I want us to do one of those videos like, how well does she know my book taste, and do the whole like giving her index cards that say like, book that made me cry the most, my favorite cover, and then have her put them on my books, because I think she'd be really good at it, because she listens to me like way too much when I talk about books. Like, honestly, what is she doing? Like, I just never shut up and somehow she retains the information. Unheard of. Most anticipated book in 2021, One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. That book has not come out yet. I think it's coming out soon. I'm so freaking excited because Red, White, and Royal Blue was, I think, the book that made me the happiest that I've ever read. Like, that filled me from my freaking toes to the top of my head, filled me with happiness. It was like a warm apple pie. I freaking loved it. And this book, One Last Stop, is about lesbians. What? Oh my God. I'm so excited. Fave book to movie adaptation. Ooh, fave book to movie adaptation. I feel like the first thing that's gonna come to my head, and I feel like people don't agree maybe, but I love the Gone Girl adaptation. Like, I love it. I think it's perfect. I love the book. I love the movie. I think they're both flawless. I think the acting is absolutely phenomenal. It's so good. But like, I've heard people say that they didn't like it or they thought the movie was boring, and like, In what world? That scene between Rosamund Pike and Neil Patrick Harris? Huh. I think about it all the time, okay? Cinematic genius. If there was one book you could take back having read, what would it be? There's a book I could... The King of Crows. Why did I even think? Why did I even stop to think? King of Crows. Are you kidding me? I wish I had never read it and I was just still sitting here waiting for the fourth book to come out. I would rather be waiting for the next book to be coming out for the rest of my life than have read that book. That's how disappointing it was. Ooh, okay, Gabby asked me a question. My fictional world, aka my bitch, like A1 since day one. Have you subscribed to her? Do you follow her on Instagram? No? Then go do it and pretend like you did the whole time because you don't want to be left out. Anyway, top 3 favorite movies. Okay, Gabby. Top 3 favorite movies. Mamma Mia. That's my comfort movie. I love Mamma Mia so much. And honestly, also Sweeney Todd, because I think that if Sweeney Todd and Mamma Mia had a baby, it would be me. I'm obsessed with musicals. Don't know if you knew that. I am. I would say those, and then, ooh. Okay, it's a struggle. I have like a top 4. We're gonna do top 4. The Proposal. That's like my enemies to lovers. Like, that's like my favorite. I'm obsessed. And then also The Conjuring is also one of my favorite. I was about to say romances. Okay, I know that The Conjuring is supposed to be a scary movie. And there might be a couple jump scares, but really, it's like the greatest romance ever told. Are you kidding me? The romance in that between like Patrick and Vera is like, I'm simping. Like, I'm simping. I'm obsessed with that movie. How do you listen to so many audiobooks? I get so distracted. Okay, so for me, and everybody's different, but for me, I really love audiobooks because I need to be doing 2 things at once. That's why physical reading for me is so difficult, is I need to be moving, I need to be doing something with my hands, and then my brain needs to be doing something else because I cannot just be focused on one thing. So for me, what I would suggest for you is to listen to an audiobook while you do a puzzle, because then you're using both sides of your brain. Like, you're logically doing something, you're doing something with your hands, and then like the artistic part of your brain, the creative part of your brain can be listening to the book and can be like playing things out in your head. And really that helps me. Like, if I really need to pay attention to an audiobook, that's what I do. Also, listening to an audiobook while you drive, but don't listen to it through the speakers of your car. Listen to it on headphones. And I would suggest that to any sort of audiobook listening. Always listen with headphones or earbuds, because you're going to get distracted if it's playing from some outside source. But if it's literally in your head, then there's less room for random thoughts. Do you know what I'm saying? But listen to them. Like, listen to the audiobook while you're like doing your dishes, while you're driving, while you're doing laundry, anything that's methodical that you don't really like, you'd rather be doing something else while you're doing that. That's the best time to read an audiobook, for sure. If you could choose only one author to read for the rest of your life, who would it be? Victoria Schwab. Have you seen the depth of Victoria Schwab? Like, I love her sci-fi, like her fantasy. I love her historical, her romance. I love everything by her. Like, every single thing she's ever written is a work of art, and I'm obsessed. Because there's other people, like, say, Gillian Flynn. I've loved every single thing she's written, but she's only written 4 books, and they're all like a similar genre, or they're all like the same genre, to be honest. And I feel like Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab, really spans like any mood I am in. There's a book of hers that I'd want to read. Millie said, what do you do to not let bad diabetes days get to you? Personally dealing with this. Okay, Millie, 1, thank you for asking. 2, I'm very sorry to hear that. Diabetes is insanely difficult to deal with. Like, I'm literally sitting here right now and my blood sugar is at 190, and I don't know why, because all I ate was eggs. Why? I have no idea. It's very frustrating. I think that's something that people don't recognize about diabetes. Like, unless you have diabetes, even if you know someone that has it or you love someone that has it, people do not understand how mentally exhausting it is and torturous. Like, it really is, because what they don't understand is that that's all you think about all the time. Like, right now my mouth is dry and I'm sitting here like, do I need to check my blood sugar? Like, why is my mouth dry? It's just constantly, that's like what you think about all the time. What I do on bad diabetes days, what I do is I will tell people that I'm around. Like, if I'm at work, I tell them that my blood sugar is high, and I say, listen, I'm going to be rude. I'm going to be angry, or you're going to see me being very frustrated, and it's not about you. Like, if I'm not talking to you, it's because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Because that's also a thing is when you have diabetes, it messes with like your hormones and stuff. And if your blood sugar's high, it makes you very mad, and it also makes you very tired and like stressed out and stuff. So I will like snap if my blood sugar is really high. So I will warn people because I don't want to hurt their feelings if I'm not talking to them, but I'm just trying to not hurt their feelings. Anyway, something else I do, I drink a lot of water, because if your blood sugar is really high and your body wants to pee like all the time because it's trying to flush out the sugar. So drink a lot of water because your mouth is going to get super dry. Your eyes are going to get super dry. Is this answering your question? I hope it is. I think I just went on a tangent. Millie, I hope that helped. This username, green. Green's my favorite color, so we're here for it. Did you go to college? Yes, I did go to college. I went to University of Northwest Florida. That was a tongue twister. Anyway, I got an AA while I was in high school, because I did collegiate. So while I was in high school, I also went to college. So I got an AA, and then I also got a degree in performing arts with a minor in creative writing. Favorite horror book? Ooh. Favorite horror. There is quite a few books that I don't think of at like in terms of like horror. I think of them as like psychological thrillers. Like Bunny technically is a horror, but I think when I think of a horror, my absolute favorite is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I adore that book. Like that's something that really like every time I hear Olivia from Olivia Reads Latte, Jesus. Every time I hear her talking about it, I'm like, yes! Like it talks about serial killers. Like every chapter is like a different book about a serial killer, and I'd read almost all of them, and it just was like that book felt to me like I was reading about my mom and my grandma and me trying to solve a mystery. I'm obsessed with the cocktails you make in your videos. Which is your favorite? Ooh, okay. Oh, definitive answer. My favorite cocktail of all time that I make, period, is a mezcal spicy margarita. I love mezcal so much. If you don't know what it is, it's basically like, it's made out of the same thing that tequila is made out of. Like they're both made out of blue agave, but instead of just making it out of the blue agave right off the rip, with mezcal, you take the agave. It doesn't have to be blue agave. It can be any kind, but anyway, whatever. For mezcal, you take the agave, you dig a pit in the ground, you put the agave in it, you set it on fire, and then you bury it for like a couple days, and then you come back, and then you make the alcohol out of that, and it makes it smoky, and it is so good. It's so interesting. I'm freaking obsessed. I've loved it. Like I worked at a tequila bar years and years ago, and it made me obsessed like with mezcal. I love it so much. So that I do mezcal. I do lemon, which is kind of shocking. Like you're supposed to use lime, but I actually really like using lemon instead personally. But I do mezcal, lemon, agave, and then also I do muddled jalapenos, but sometimes it's not spicy enough. So I'll put in a little habanero oil from Trader Joe's. Or is it from Sprouts? Oh, yikes. It's from one of those. Anyway, I love that. And then I shake that, and then you're supposed to strain it. A lot of people like to do that, but Grace and I, when I make it for her and I, what I do is I just put the whole thing in there with all of the muddled jalapenos, because we like to eat them at the end, and it's so good. And then what you see on the rim of the drinks that I make is I mix equal parts chili powder, not chili powder. No, I mix equal parts cayenne and sugar, and I make a chili sugar rim, and it is amazing. Have you ever had a chili sugar rim? It's so freaking good. Elevates every single cocktail. I'm obsessed. Anyway, I'm not a bartender. Let's move on. Manda asked, you dye your hair, right? What's your natural hair color? Very, very dark brown, and then I dye it a soft black. One, because I like the way that I look with black hair, because I'm pretty pale as a human being. But also I've been dyeing my hair like every other month since I was 17, because when I was 17, my hair started going gray, and my grandmother went completely gray when she was, or not my grandmother, my great grandmother went completely gray when she was 17, like very quickly. And then I started going gray when I was 17, and my mom and my grandmother, they have gray hair, but like not like that. So I don't know what happened with my great grandmother and me, but anyway, I have a lot of gray hair, so I dye my hair quite often, and that's why you see it so much in my reading vlogs. What made you start making YouTube videos? P.S. Love everything you post. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. What made me start posting on YouTube is I wanted to and was told to so many times for years and years and years. Like ever since I was in college, like my college theater professor was like, you should make YouTube videos reviewing TV shows, because I would talk about TV shows all the time and I never did it. And then I had a bunch of other people, like my mom would always tell me that I should do it, like my friends would tell me I should do it, like all this stuff. And I had a Tumblr for a long time about True Blood. Like I ran like this whole True Blood Tumblr thing for years, and it was like whatever. Anyway, but people would tell me that I should like make videos about it, and I never did. And then people would tell me when I became more obsessed with books that I should do it, and I never did. And then what made me do it was that in quarantine, I was reading like incessantly, consistently, fervently. Everything that ends in a LY, I was doing with book reading. Like, it was insane how many books I was reading. And I was doing like Zoom therapy, which, oh yeah, okay, I was about to say, I was like, why did I stop doing that? And it's because, the rate for it went up, but I need to go back to doing that, because honestly, like if you've never tried online therapy, it's freaking amazing. But the woman who was so great, she was like, why don't you do that? Because I was telling her about all the people that I watched, and like that was because she was asking me like, what comforts you and what do you do like for comfort or whatever. And I was like, oh, I watch booktube. And she was like, why don't you do that? You read a lot. And I'm like, I don't know. And she was like, you're really interesting. Like you should make one. I think you have entertaining, like ideas and opinions. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she kept asking me, and I kept being like, I don't know. And she was like, that's your homework. Like that was the homework that she would give me every week, is to like make a video. And that was the video that is still on my channel. Like my first ever video, I think it was like my June wrap up, is the first video that I ever made and put out. I think I deleted like a couple of the other ones I did after that, but that was the first video I put out, and I ended up really liking it. And I went back and watched that video a couple days ago, because I don't remember why I did that. But anyway, I watched it and was like, this is not bad. Like, I actually really like this. And it kind of just shot off from there. And I've been making like 2 a week ever since. And I love it. I love being here. A book you're intimidated to read because of the hype. House and the Cerulean Sea. House and the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I am like scared, to be honest, because it's so incredibly hyped, and there are so many people, like even Kayla from Books and Lala was like, this is a 5 stars favorite of all time, and she never reads stuff like that, and she loved it, which I was like freaking shook. There's so many people out there that never read that kind of genre, and they absolutely loved it, and I was like, I don't want to be that bitch, you know? Like Elias, I think it was his favorite book of 2020, and he is like the hardest person to please of all time. So I was like, oh my God, what if I don't like it? I mean, I'm sure I will, but then Grace read it and she didn't really love it all that much. And I was like, oh no, I'm scared. I'm going to read it. Eventually. I will. I need to read it before the Late Night Book Club reads it, and they're reading it in May. So there you go. There's my timeline. Favorite band. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about my favorite music, okay? So instead of band, let's just say Broadway. Okay, I'm obsessed with musicals, and my most favorite of all time, I'm gonna have so many favorites, but Hadestown. Hadestown is the best. Like, have you listened to it? It's so good! Hadestown is everything to me. The Hadestown cast is gonna be my favorite band, and then also Hamilton, hello, Sweeney Todd, Mamma Mia, Chicago, Dear Evan Hansen, Legally Blonde, oh my God, Addams Family, the musical. Love it. Obsessed. My favorite band, though, Panic at the Disco. I'll say it again. Brendan Urie, Panic at the Disco. I love it. That shit never gets old. It doesn't. Like, it's amazing. I really used to love Motion City soundtrack a lot. Ooh, another person. Okay, so I would say that the real answers would definitely be Brendan Urie and LP. So LP, her name's like Laura Pelagosi or something like that. I can't remember. But LP is so stunning. I've seen her live twice, and it was worth it was worth triple the amount that I paid to see her. She is absolutely phenomenal. If you ever have the chance to watch her live, her voice, you're not going to believe me, but her voice sounds better in person than it does like on Spotify or wherever you're listening to it. Like, go listen to her. Her music is just so stunning. She's gay. And God bless America. Like, God bless the universe that she's gay, because I'm like, I needed that icon in my life. Anyway, this is like an LP Stan account now. Let's move on. What language would you learn if you could learn any language instantly? Russian. Russian. For the sole purpose that I would sound like such a bad bitch. Like, are you kidding me? I would be such a bad bitch. Also, like, I have like a very like angular like cheekbones and nose, and I have like a pretty like long nose, so I feel like, and then I have like black hair and I have like a very defined widow's peak. Like, I could be really, really pulling off these Russian vibes. I could also really be pulling off these vampiric vibes. Like, hello? I would be like the character that like I dream of myself being. If you could live in any time period, which one would you choose? Okay, so the realistic answer is I would not pick any time period before the time period right now, because diabetes is already hard enough, and you bet your ass I am not going back to any time period that had less technology than we have now. This is the time period I want to live in. I want to live in the time period where diabetes doesn't exist. No, I want to live in the time period where Elon Musk has created a bionic pancreas and it only costs $20. That's where I'm going. I want to know how you got into reading and where your amazing personality is from. Oh, that's so cute. Well, how I got into reading was that my mom is obsessed with reading, and so is my grandma. My mom reads so fast, like faster than I could ever possibly read, and she only reads physically. Don't know how she does it. Like, she reads like a book a day. It's freaking crazy. But my mom would always tell me, like, if I wanted to buy some, or I wanted her to get me a toy, I wanted her to get me candy, anything, she would be like, she would always say, I will always buy you books. Like, if you want a book, I'll buy it. I don't care how expensive it is. I don't care if you want 12 bucks. If you want a book, I'll buy it. And she held true to that my entire life. Like, whenever I was in high school and I had not read anything for so long, I really wanted to read The Hunger Games. And she was like, let's go to the store right now. I was like, okay. And we bought the book. I went home, read the whole thing in a day. And the next day she was like, let's go get the other one. I was like, okay. And then I went and got it. And like, she will like send me like Books A Million gift cards. Like, she'll buy books for me on Amazon. Like, she just loves reading. So I definitely got that from her. And I also really love telling stories. Like, as a Gemini, like, I'm obsessed with telling stories. So taking stories is really amazing for me, because then it gives me more fodder to tell stories, you know? And then where is my personality from? A lot of it's probably from TV, to be honest, because I tried to kind of take on a lot of personalities and like humors when I was younger. But honestly, a lot of my personality is how wildly, drastically different my family is. Like, my dad is a Virgo. All top 5 of his planets are all in Virgo. What kind of natal chart monster? Like, how does that even happen? So he's like the epiphany of a Virgo. He's also a type 5. And my mom is a type 2, and she's a Gemini. With a Cancer sun, or with a Cancer moon. Like, oh my God. So she's a type 2, he's a type 5. And then my brother is an 8-wing 7, and he is a Libra with, oh my God, what, a Libra with a Sagittarius moon? It's whatever Eminem is. Whatever Eminem's natal chart is the exact same as my brother's. They're so wildly, drastically different that it was like I would have to act differently around each of them. Like, I could not talk to my brother the way that I talk to my mom, and I couldn't talk to my mom the way I talk to my dad. So to keep all of them interested and to get all of them to laugh was like I had to be different people around all 3 of them. So I think that like I tried really hard to like be entertaining in different ways with them. So I think that probably, and also being a Gemini, made me who I am. This is a very good question. Okay, this person said, I noticed your bio says ace. What does that mean? Ace is short for asexual, kind of like how hetero would be short for heterosexual, or like homo would be short for homosexual. I am asexual. What asexuality means is that there's varying degrees of it, so don't take my word as gospel, or a definition necessarily. I would do your own research on it, to be honest. But what asexual means for me is that I do not and have never felt sexual attraction for anyone. Man, woman, transgender, they, them, non-binary, anybody. I've never felt sexual attraction for anyone, and it is, to me, it is repulsive, which some asexuals feel that way. I don't care for it. I have tried it, and I don't like it, and I don't want to, and I don't see myself ever wanting to. I think I would have to have a personality transplant. I would have to die and wake back up as a different person to change my mind on that. So that's what that stands for. It doesn't mean that I don't like relationships, and it doesn't mean that I don't have relationships. Like, I have plenty of loving relationships, but sex is just not in the cards. What did you want to do when you were a child? Okay, I wanted to be a writer. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a writer. I don't really know what happened to that. I don't know what made me stop wanting to do that, but I wanted to be a writer when I was growing up very badly, and I was obsessed with reading, so that made sense. Who was your favorite booktuber? Okay, oh my God. I have a list. Are you ready? Noelle, Gabby, Olivia, and Kayla. Period. Those are the best. Like, they're amazing. I know that they're all top tier. Like, there's no indie guys on this list, but like, they're top tier for a reason, and they have a lot of followers for a reason. They're amazing. Oh my God, how did you and Grace become friends? Oh, okay, sit down, story time, let's do this. Okay, so Grace and I both work at the same restaurant. We're both servers at the same restaurant. She's worked there twice as long as I have. And when I came in, she was on vacation. And when she got back, everybody was like, oh my God, Grace, there's this girl that just started that looks exactly like you. And she was like, really? And then looked over and was like, oh shit, that girl does look exactly like me. And like, we've always looked exactly alike. Like, every time either of us cuts our hair, then the other person cuts their hair, like on accident, but really it's universe forcing us to look alike. But what happened was we worked together, and Grace is an 8-wing-7. So if you know anything about that, they're not like super big on new people, you know? So she didn't talk to me, and she found out I was a Gemini and was like, absolutely not, which I can understand. I can appreciate it. She's a Cancer. So she just like kept her distance and was like, nah, fam. And then it wasn't until like a year later, I swear, it was like a full year later, that like she saw me going through a situation with a friend at our work. And then like, based on the way I reacted to that situation, she started liking me and was like, oh yeah, she's really cool. And then she was also personally going through a really big life change in her life. And I saw the way that she dealt with that. And I was like, respected her a lot and was like, yeah, she a bad bitch. Like, I like her. And I just decided that we would be friends. Like, I just was like, yeah, we're gonna be friends. And then I just like started talking to her and like hanging out with her. And that shot off into the sun. And it literally like, I don't even think there was ever a moment where we were just like kind of chatting. It was like we were workplace having a couple chats, and then all of a sudden we were best friends. If you could have dinner with a side character from your favorite book to ask about their story, who would it be? Oh my God. Well, it would have been Nesta Archeron, probably. But then she had her own book, and the main character energy was too strong. Let's see, who else? Side characters to ask about their story? Ugh. Why am I only thinking about like TV shows right now? Like Lila Morgan from Angel, the Buffy spinoff, is my favorite side character of all time. Like, she's more like a featured extra, but she is the love of my life. So her. And then Narcissa Malfoy. That's going to be the answer. Narcissa Malfoy, I would love to get her story. I would love to get inside her head and to sit down with her and just be like, okay, as a type 6 to another type 6, like, let's talk. So, her. Favorite musical? Oh my God. Megan's Next Read. Thank you for asking. How did you know I'm obsessed? Hadestown. Hadestown. I ship Persephone and Hades from that musical so much. Like, so much. I'm obsessed. I read fan fiction about them. Like, I'm so obsessed with it. Like, I love that musical so much. Like, just throw on, like, even a dash, just one lyric of that, and I can sing the entire musical from, like, page 1 to the end. Explain reading and walking to me. I don't understand how you can do this without tripping. Alexis, yes. I'm so glad somebody asked this. Okay, I don't know. I have really good peripheral vision. That's all I can say. Like, my brain is always doing like a million things at once. So I'll be reading and I hold it like this and I'm reading it, but I'm like, also my periphery is like on the ground and then also on the cars right here. Cause I'm always walking like where the cars are going to be on this side of the book. and my hearing, like I'm not wearing headphones. If I was wearing headphones, that'd be dangerous. But like, if I was, I'm using the other parts of my vision. I do not suggest it. I don't suggest other people do it. I can't really explain to you why I'm so good at it, because to me, it doesn't seem dangerous at all. Like, I'm like, yeah, I know everything that's happening around me. Like, when people are on their porch, I know they're on their porch when I'm walking by, even if they're way far away. I'm just like, sup? Like, I don't know. It works for me. Do not do it because you'll probably trip and die. Favorite thriller novels? Ooh, okay. Let's see. The first ones that are coming to my head that are going to be like mystery thrillers. Okay, no, let's just say thrillers. Things that I think are just thrillers and aren't even focused on like necessarily the mystery. The One and the Passengers by John Mars are like the best thrillers I've ever read. Okay, that and No Exit by Taylor Adams. Those are the most thrilling books I've ever read in my life. Like, oh my God. From page 1 to done, you were on the edge of your freaking seat, gripped. Oh my God. Anything by John Mars is going to be a thrilling adventure, but all three of those are definitely like top tier thriller options for me. Do you know your natal chart? Oh, girl, do I know my natal chart? Yes, I do. Okay, well, let's see what all I can remember. Grace is the one who knows the most about it. Like, she knows everything. But I have high degrees in everything. Like, this is not like I'm sitting here like, oh, I have this and it's at a 1 degree. I'm like, no, I'm literally like freaking 28 degrees and everything. But I am a Gemini sun with an Aries moon. I have a Taurus Venus. I am a Capricorn rising. Let's see, what's some of my other stuff? I am oh God, what is it? The one that's like luck or your north node mine's in Sagittarius. And then what's some of the other signs? Oh, my Mercury is in Cancer. It's very interesting. My Mars is in Leo. Yeah, because Grace and I have the same Mars. So my Mars is in Leo. I think that's all the planets that I know. But basically, that just means like with my moon and my sun, that is a air sun and a fire moon. And air and fire combust. So I have a big old personality. And then with a Taurus Venus, I really, really, really love stability. I love stability. I love stable people. Like, even if they frustrate me, if they're stable and consistent, I love that. And especially if they're good huggers, we love to see it. And then with a Cancer Mercury, Grace has told me so many times, she's like, God bless you have a Cancer Mercury or you would be the devil. Like, you're too powerful. Like, because I'm so intense. But that having a Cancer Mercury is like the only thing that softens out all these insane edges that I can I think really hard about how I'm coming across to people, and it doesn't work 80% of the time, but I try to not be so intense and crazy and understand people. And then let's see, is there anything else that we're going to talk about? Oh, my Capricorn rising. I try to learn from Capricorns. Capricorns are very confusing to me, but I try to learn from them. And there is a lot of things I do that I feel like I come across Capricorn-esque. Like, I am very organized. I love organization. I love things to be in a row. I love to understand things. I want things to be point blank. I don't want frills. I just want the facts. And people do say that I have a lot of Capricorn qualities in that way. But anyway, that's natal chart discussion aside. Let's move on. I've been talking for 4 hours. I just looked at the clock. No wonder my mouth is so dry. Good God. I checked my blood sugar and it's 170, which is not great, but it's not horrible. And I was like, then why is my mouth so dry? And then I looked over, I was like, it's 4 o'clock? Girl! Ow! Okay, so the lighting is diminishing, okay? We're losing our natural light. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this natural light situation. Please let me know. But that, in fact, was our last question. Technically, not the last. I know that there are going to be some that I'm going to have to edit out because either there was the same question that was asked more than once, or maybe this video is just a million years long. So I'm very sorry if I didn't get to your question. I'm going to be doing another one of these probably for a 10K Q&A. Or something of the like. Also, let me know anything else you want to see, because I do really want to look into doing an Instagram live, or maybe trying out a YouTube live. I've never done that. I've never done any live before, but I am interested to meet you guys and talk with you. So let me know what you want me to do there. Do you want me to do reading sprints? Do you just want me to do a chat? What do you think? I don't know. But anyway, I will have my Instagram and my Goodreads linked down below, as well as other links like my Amazon wishlist or my PO box or affiliate links with like Libro and stuff like that. If you want to check any of those out, that would be amazing. I want to thank you all so much again for 5K. I am astounded. Thank you so much. And I will see you in a video coming very soon. Bye.